Have you ever wondered why the Romans had the peculiar habit of eating lying down during their banquets? It seems so strange by today's standards, but this practice held profound meanings of status, power, and even religious beliefs. What could lead such a grand empire to turn a meal into a true spectacle? In this video, we'll unveil the mystery behind this unique tradition, exploring its origins, its impact on Roman society, and how it shaped political alliances and even philosophical debates. Get ready to discover how eating while reclining went far beyond comfort. It was a display of luxury and authority that influenced an entire culture. Before diving into this fascinating story, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos full of historical curiosities about the Roman Empire. The Greek roots and Roman prestige. Have you ever wondered how a simple way of sitting, or rather lying down, became so iconic in ancient Rome? Let's begin by understanding the strong connection between the habit of reclining to eat and the Greek influence that shaped Roman identity. The custom of reclining at the table has very ancient origins in Greece, where banquets were moments of both gastronomic pleasure and intellectual exchange. In classical Greece, discussions about politics, philosophy, and the arts took place. At these symposia, and the act of reclining was viewed as a symbol of sophistication. When Rome began conquering Greek territories, it didn't merely absorb military knowledge or material wealth. Greek culture was also incorporated, bringing elements of art, architecture, and even dietary habits. Eating while reclining then became an emblem of power, showing that Roman elites dominated not only territories but also cultural refinement. It's important to note that this influence was not just imitation. The Romans adapted the practice to their own lifestyle, transforming what had been an intellectual ritual into a true social spectacle, with larger couches, more lavish banquets, and an even greater emphasis on ostentation. Have you ever wondered how this custom traveled from Athens to the heart of Rome? Leave your like now so we can keep bringing you more impactful stories like this one. The emergence of the Triclinium. We've talked about Greece, but how did the idea of reclining to eat become an everyday practice in Roman households? Now, let's explore the Triclinium, the special dining room that revolutionized mealtimes. The Triclinium was a space designed exclusively for formal meals. It was usually found in a noble area of the house, surrounded by decorations showcasing the host family's wealth, frescoes, mosaics, and even sculptures depicting mythological themes or banquet scenes. This room consisted of 3 couches, called lectae, arranged in a U shape around a central table. Each lectus could accommodate up to 3 people, all reclining on their left side, supported by soft cushions. Thus 9 guests could share the meal, and conversation flowed smoothly in the reclining position. The choice to lie on the left side was practical. It kept the right arm free to handle food and wine cups, while also making it easier to interact with other guests, exchanging glances and comments. Were you already familiar with this intriguing detail about the Triclinium? Let us know in the comments and share your ideas. Hierarchy at the table. Have you ever considered that beyond savoring delicious meals, the act of eating while lying down could determine one's standing in Roman society? Get ready to see how social hierarchy revealed itself even in the way people positioned themselves. Not everyone could afford the luxury of enjoying the Triclinium. Generally, the privilege of reclining to eat belonged to the wealthier classes, as it required time, space, and a host of slaves to serve the dishes. Thus, the difference between those who ate lying down and those who ate sitting or standing further widened the gap between rich and poor. The position of each guest within the Triclinium followed a clear order of importance. The central spot, for instance, was reserved for the host or an honored guest, while the remaining couches were allocated to others, according to their prestige or closeness to the host. These social rules weren't confined to mealtimes. They reflected Rome's power structure, where the patrician elite dictated political directions, controlled finances, and held exclusive privileges, even in how they dined. Want more insights into everyday life in ancient Rome? Leave a like and share this video with your fellow history enthusiasts. Sumptuous banquets and showcasing wealth. Now that we've seen who could and couldn't eat lying down, let's explore the grandeur of Roman banquets. Get ready for descriptions that will leave you imagining unforgettable aromas, flavors, and entertainment. The wealthier Romans loved to flaunt their status. Their banquets lasted for hours and included a seemingly endless variety of dishes. Exotic meats like pheasant or wild boar, fish from faraway regions, and carefully selected fruits. This abundance wasn't merely to satisfy hunger, but also to impress the guests. In addition to musicians and dancers, it was common to have poets reciting verses or even jugglers performing. All this took place while the participants reclined, creating a festive atmosphere. The more extravagant the event, the higher the host's prestige in society. This culture of ostentation wasn't considered excessive by wealthy Romans, but rather an investment in their reputation. Through these dinners, political alliances were forged, marriages were arranged, and even commercial deals took shape to the sound of flutes and clinking wine glasses. If you're enjoying this journey through time, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Excesses and the practice of vomiting. After so much food and drink, it's no surprise that excess was common. Let's see how the relentless pursuit of pleasure led to a practice that would be shocking by today's standards. During long Roman banquets, it was common for some guests to consume more than their bodies could handle. To keep on eating, many resorted to inducing vomiting in private areas, then returning as if nothing had happened. From a moral standpoint, this practice was highly questionable, but for the Roman elite, the key point was showing that there were no limits to their pleasure. Eating and then vomiting became a symbol of wealth and excess, marking the difference between those who could have it all and those living in scarcity. Writers like Petronius documented such excesses in their works, describing extravagant banquets where outrageously expensive dishes were served one after another and wine flowed freely into the early hours. These accounts reveal that for many Romans, a banquet was almost like a gastronomic endurance sport. Have you been surprised by any detail of this story? Leave a comment and tell us what caught your attention the most. The religious role and connection with the gods. The extravagance of banquets wasn't just about food and drink, there was also a sacred aspect behind it all. Let's understand how religion and meals were intertwined in the Roman mindset. During many religious festivals, such as Saturnalia, banquets were an essential part of the rites. Reclining to eat evoked the image of the gods themselves, who, according to mythology, also enjoyed lavish feasts and drinking. Thus, the Triclinium became a kind of divine stage to commune with and give thanks to celestial beings. Many Romans believed that by eating and drinking in a reclining position, like the gods, they drew closer to divine power and benevolence. Tacitus, in his Chronicles, notes how certain political events or crucial imperial decisions were celebrated with grand religious banquets, honoring the gods' protection over Rome. In short, the practice of reclining to eat went beyond social considerations. It also touched on the sacred, revealing how religion and daily life were interwoven in Roman culture. Even in seemingly mundane matters, like a simple meal, there was room to honor and emulate the immortals. If you find this connection between religion and everyday habits intriguing, leave a like and share this video with more people who also love history. Slaves, entertainment, and essential roles. We've already seen how religion and ostentation shaped these banquets, but who made it all run smoothly? Let's now talk about the role of slaves and the entertainment involved. Slaves were the main driving force that allowed Rome's elite to enjoy such luxury. Some were responsible for serving food, while others handled musical instruments or coordinated dancers and performers. There were also those in charge of keeping the kitchen fires burning or looking after the wine stocks. For the guests, entertainment was crucial. When there wasn't music or dancing, poetry readings or even philosophical debates were common. Plato, despite being Greek, directly influenced Roman thought, and his writings were discussed amid wine cups and political conversations. Although these events were grand, it's important to remember that all this extravagance was only possible thanks to the tireless work of slaves who rarely received any recognition. The glitz of the banquets stood in stark contrast to the harsh reality of those who lived to serve, further reinforcing Rome's unequal social structure. Have you ever wondered what your role would have been at a Roman banquet? Comment below and share your opinion. Pliny the Elder's view on health and well-being. Now that we've examined the backstage of entertainment, let's delve into health issues. Believe it or not, some claimed that eating while lying down was actually beneficial. This is where Pliny the Elder comes in. In his work, Naturalis Historia, Pliny the Elder described a variety of Roman practices, including the custom of reclining while eating. He believed that this position contributed to good circulation and digestion, especially during hearty meals accompanied by wine. Of course, these assertions lacked the medical basis we have today, but they reflected the Roman worldview. Anything associated with pleasure and good health became an ideal to strive for. For Pliny, any advantage that reinforced aristocratic habits was welcome and widely promoted. Despite differences among scholars, the fact is that figures like Pliny helped cement the practice of reclining while eating as something not only refined, but also healthy, further justifying the powerful class's adherence to this lifestyle. Do you believe that eating while lying down can actually be good for your health? Leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more historical insights. Politics at the table. Tacitus and his Chronicles. Moving on from Pliny's reflections, we reach the point where the dinner table itself became the stage for grand decisions. Let's see how Tacitus described these moments brimming with political plots. In his histories, Tacitus recounted how many banquets provided the perfect opportunity for forging alliances and conspiracies. While the wine flowed freely and food was plentiful, senators and generals closed deals, pledged loyalty, or betrayed previous alliances. The relaxed setting of the banquet allowed people from different social circles to debate matters of state. However, there was always tight scrutiny. The host carefully chose the guests to ensure that negotiations were both safe and advantageous. These political banquets reinforced the idea that reclining to eat went far beyond mere pleasure. It was there that the empire's future could be decided. The combination of pomp, religiosity, and power turned each meal into a deeply meaningful experience for Rome's elite. If you're enjoying learning how Roman banquets influence politics, leave a comment with your thoughts and share this video on your social networks. The legacy and the end of the custom. We've reached the end of our journey. But what happened to this peculiar habit of eating while reclining once the Roman Empire started to decline? Let's wrap up our story by exploring the legacy this practice left behind. With the fall of the Roman Empire and the transition to the Middle Ages, new customs took hold in Europe. Christianity, which grew in influence, espoused different values such as modesty and self-control, and came to frown upon the excesses and ostentation of ancient banquets. Gradually, eating while reclining fell out of favor, especially as social and economic structures changed radically. Great feudal lords preferred communal dining halls where each person served themselves, still with many hierarchical rules, but without the custom of reclining. Although it lost its popularity, the tradition of reclining to eat lived on in the writings of authors like Petronius, Tacitus, and Pliny the Elder, who help us understand how the Romans viewed their world, a place where politics, religion, art, and gastronomy blended into lavish spectacles of luxury and power. And so we conclude our exploration of Roman banquets, showing how the act of reclining to eat was much more than a simple comfort choice. It reflected how Rome saw itself and projected its image, combining pleasure, power, and spirituality in one practice. From these accounts, we gain a deeper understanding of a people who influenced the course of Western history. If you enjoyed this journey through time and want more fascinating stories, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next chapter.